So if you have been refused previously a Canada visa, either a visiting or study visa, this video is for you. If you're thinking to apply for a visiting or studying visa for Canada, this video is also for you. In this video, I will share with you the common grounds of visa refusal based on the Canada Immigration Act, which is the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. And the most listed common grounds, as you can see on the screen, majorly I'll be speaking on R216 subsection 1, subsection B, which of course gives the most common grounds for visa refusals for Canada. So watch this video and get one or two things that will help you in your application and also help you in your application to avoid common refusals. Hello, welcome to my channel Visa Talks with K. So today, like I promised in the last video, I'll be giving you insight on common reasons for Canada visa refusal. So be it a study visa refusal or a visiting visa refusal, right? So you'll be getting insight into what the law says, what the Canadian immigration law says about this refusal, because this part of the law is always quoted in the refusal letter. So I'm not a lawyer, I'm not I'm an immigration lawyer, so I'm just speaking from my own research that I saw. I was able to download and compare to be able to come up with this video. So yes, I'll just be reading from the screen, basically based off of my research. So like I mentioned, the first thing that the first thing that the refusal letter reads or is mentioned on the letter is that I have, so after the whole thank you for your interest in visiting Canada or studying Canada, blah blah blah. But there's a line that I want to draw your attention to, which I know most people will not pay attention to because of the sadness of being refused. But just listen. So on that sentence, you have a line to say, "I've determined your application does not meet the requirements for the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act." So that's the IRPA. That's the immigration law I was mentioning to. I referred to. And he went further to say, "I am not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay as required by paragraph R216, subsection 1, subsection B." I don't know if I mentioned that right, but yeah, of the IRPR. So that's IRPR is the Immigration and Refugee Protection Regulation, which is a subsidiary instrument on the Act. So I'll be taking you into what the R216 1 subsection B says so that you can understand. So the R21 subsection B, which particularly speaks to study permit application, reads as follow. You'll be looking at it on the screen as I talk. So basically the R216 says, subject to subsections 2, 3, blah blah blah. I mean, if you look at it well, it's just explains some things, but the particular interest is the 2161 subsection B, which says that you must, as a foreign national, you must establish that you will leave Canada by the end of the period of your authorized stay under the division 2 of part 9. You would see that what the division 2 of part 9 says, but this is the first point. Every application, be it a study application, a visiting application, you need to show proof that you will leave by the end of the period of authorized stay in Canada. How do you prove this? First, home ties. Very, very important. Home ties, very, very important. So you need to establish that you have strong home ties in your home country. So how do you prove home ties? You have aged parents, right, in your home country. So you can use that as a statement to prove home ties. You have job commitments. So for instance, you're applying for a visiting visa, you have a job commitment. So you've been granted leave of absence to go on tourism. So a letter, of course, showing those details would be required, right? So to show that yes, you have a working job. 2, you have rental income. You have some financial ties in your home country, which is under the home ties, right? Financial ties could include rental incomes, where you could have cases where you present rental receipts, evidence of collection of rental income from properties, from businesses, from assets that you have established in your own country. So not just providing documents to say this is my proof of proof of rental income. Attach rental receipts. Like I mentioned in my last video, what we did to tackle the refusal was just to include not only the rental receipts but also evidences of the persons, that are paying these monies, in terms of the rental income. So the tenant, the ID card of the tenant, copies of the utility bills addressed to the house. So those things are quite good proof of rental income, which forms the home ties. You are married, marriage certificate, to show that yes, of course, marriage certificate plus the wedding photos to show that yes, your family members are in your home country and you're not going to leave them away, right? You're not going to break the immigration rule by overstaying in Canada once your visa is approved. You have children, include your children's birth certificate, even if they are not going with you. Go as much as possible to get letters of introduction from, if your student, of course, if they are in school, letters of introduction from the school of your children to say your children are in their school and they are like enrolled in the school, just to confirm student enrollment, right? Basically, but if the schools can't provide that, then the copies of the receipts you've been using to pay the school fees over time, maybe for the last 3 terms, you should be able to gather them together and upload as supporting documents in your application. So you can see proving home ties goes beyond yes, you have a job, yes, you have properties. It includes other vital documents. So I think I've really explained what an home tie, how to prove an home tie is all about. And of course, if you successfully prove, it could increase your chances of visa approval and them not thinking you overstay the authorized period you were granted on your visa. So now, what does Division 2 of Part 9, what does it say? Clearly, this Division 2 speaks to the conditions of which a temporary residence application will be granted. As you can see, there are general conditions, and basically, for these conditions, you need to prove that you will leave Canada by the end of your period of authorization. So you can see, aside other informations which are related to authorization to work and not to work and all that, study and not to study, and basically, those details, you can see that the main burden of your application to be approved rests on your ability to prove that you will leave Canada, which is why I've spoken about home ties. But aside also using home ties to prove that you will leave Canada, you should also, of course, have in your documentation evidences that you've made adequate preparation for your visit to Canada, which I've always talked about in my video. So first, your letter of intent, which clearly would show, which will give you the avenue to explain your home ties, right? But aside that, an itinerary plan, confirmable hotel reservations, and what are the other documents that you can use to show strong intention to leave Canada. Also, your bank statement, very, very important. Recently I just received a mail, someone requesting that, they don't have bank statement, but they were wanting to apply to Canada. It could significantly reduce your chances of getting visas approval if you necessarily don't have the show of proof of funds, which is your bank statement. So I've also made a video of how to show your proof of funds. I think it's an 8-tip video. I will be dropping the link in the description section so that you can also look at it. But that video explains clearly how to show proof of funds. Remember, application to Canada, or your application for your visa to be granted to visit Canada, it's a privilege, it's not a right? So basically, you should know that whatever you're doing, even if you have submitted everything, there could be another instance where the consular officer just feels, or the visa officer just feels, okay, they can't give you the visa. But if you look at what the law says, as per what I've explained to you, as per what I've showcased to you, you should be able to at least pick the clear okay, you need to have you should be able to have a clear understanding that whatever decision is made on your application, it is guided by the immigration law. So it is more or less objective, not a subjective form of assessment like we have for the US, right, where the decision is made based off of interactions with a consular officer, which of course at times his mood can just change and give you, or he has some issues around clarity and all that. But for Canada, objective decision making is what forms their own decision to either give you a visa or not. So review this, ensure that you have everything to prove to show that you will leave, because in every of the review I've given to you right now, the major word there is you need to prove that you will leave by the end of the period authorized for your stay. So the intention to prove rests on you as an applicant, so you need to prove that strongly. So gather as much document as possible. I know the new IRCC portal gives document restriction to 2 MB. So I advise, if you are somebody that is heavily documented, you have everything to prove, every evidence to prove, you should use the GC key portal, which of course the maximum size for document upload is 4 MB. So you have more space to give them that documentation to support your visit to Canada. So guys, I hope this video has been very helpful. So what I'm thinking next is to have a form of a live session, my first live session, obviously, as if I can get as much as maybe 10 persons that need a general consultation, because I kind of, it will be more efficient to do general group consultations of maybe 10 persons per time than just doing individual, because I've been doing that a lot and it's been time consuming and all that. So if I can get up to maybe 10 persons that are interested in a group, it could be Zoom call, recorded, or it could be even a live stream session, as much as I can do. I mean, if you have need for refusals and you want to apply again, we can look at the reasons for your refusal and make a case, so that people can also learn and you can do a reapplication. Remember, being refused for Canada visa is not a final, except if when you are refused, of course, for maybe fraudulent cases and what have you, or maybe threat to national security, which is quite strong, or maybe due to medical grounds. And yeah, that could be a big game to tackle. But if you've been refused for the basic things of maybe you've not been able to show travel history, or you've not been able to show proof of funds and all that, then you can reapply if you get the right documents to put together. So if you're open for that kind of opportunity, drop in the comment section. I'll gather the interest, sum it up. If you reach up to 10, I'll do a group consultation, and I think I'll be able to help you with your reapplication process, of course, free of charge, right? Yeah, so you get that already. So thank you very much. Please, if you find the video very helpful, please subscribe, please share. Please also drop your comments in the comment section. I'm open to always attending to everyone's comment. So till we meet in my next video, thank you very much and take care. Bye bye.